Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going over stall, or walls, or Milotic stalls, or Milotic walls, or whatever we're calling it in the format these days. I like this deck. Even though I'm not the best control player, I do like this deck. I like being able to deny people, being able to attack, do damage, and kind of frustrate some people, and that's exactly what this deck does. It frustrates your opponent. Make sure you stay tuned until the end of this game, because I do go into a pretty in-depth analysis of what I would change, or what I'd like to see changed, or what I think could change, and whether this is a cup contender, or whether this is a regional contender, or anything like that. So I do go into in-depth, so stay tuned until the end. I think I do pretty well. But for right now, let's go ahead and get into it. We've got Milotic with its Sparkling Scales ability. Prevents all damage and effects of attacks from your opponent's Terra Pokemon. Boy, this is going to be good. We've got a lot of Terra Pokemon in the format right now. Charizard, Dragapult, Pikachu, you name it. So not only does this protect from damage, but also from effects. So this protects from Dragapult. And Dragapult doesn't really use a ton of backup attackers right now. And Milotic is kind of the thing that's going to allow us to really do a lot. It does have the attack Hypno Splash for Water Colorless, does 160, and your opponent's Pokemon is now asleep. Sleep means they can't attack and they can't retreat, and they have to flip a coin in between turns to see if they wake up. So we could really kind of stall them out, or even 160 plus 160 is 320, and that means a Dragapult goes down. And we're pretty happy with that. We do also run the Farigiraf EX with its Armor Tail ability. Prevent all damage from attacks of your opponent's EX basic Pokemon. So, Raging Bolt, can't kill it. Terrapaghost can't hurt this thing. Lilies can't hurt this thing. You see where I'm going with this. It's just a EX basic wall, and we love this thing. We do also run the Cornerstone Ogerpon EX with its Cornerstone stance. Attacks and damage from your opponent's attacks of your opponents with a you do. Prevent all damage from attacks of your opponent's Pokemon that have an ability. So dang, this gets through Charizard. This gets through, or gets past Ogerpon EX and Pikachu. So this kind of walls off another large chunk of the meta. On top of that, we do run the Mimikyu with its Safeguard ability. Prevent all damage. Tell me if you've heard this before. Prevent all damage from attacks of your opponent's Pokemon EX and V. And while V Pokemon are no longer in the format, we have nothing but EX Pokemon in the format. So Mimikyu gets around those, and guess what? You can't hurt me. I'm also going to be putting 7 damage counters on you, so I can sit here and wait. What about you? We do run the Squawkabilly and the Munkidori. Munkidori is allowing us to increase damage and take damage off of us if it should happen, and Squawkabilly is going to get us more cards on our first turn. We do run the Crispin, Arven, Professor Research, and Iono. Pretty decent little bunch of supporters. I think it's pretty awesome. Crispin, very important in this. Search your deck for 2 energy types. Put 1 in your hand, put 1 on one of your Pokemon. This is really good. We're accelerating energy, and we're going to be able to get energy going quicker with this deck. We do have the Arven. Search your deck for an item and tool card. Put them in your hand. Research, ditch your hand, and just draw 7. It's fantastic draw support. And we do have the Iono. Both players shuffle hands. Put them on the bottom of the deck. Draw however many prize cards they have. There's a good chance we have a bit of prize cards very late into the game, because we aren't probably going to be taking most KOs, but we can if we need to. And our ace spec for the day is the Poké Vital A. Never thought I'd hear that, ever. But it is actually really good in this. Heal one of your Pokemon for 150 damage. Just take 150 damage off. This is awesome. And this actually helps us get through something like a Dragapult. I do want to highlight that we do run the Turbo Energize in this, and it's very important on your first couple of turns, but so is the TM Evo. Both of them are technical machines, so they come off of your Pokemon at the end of your turn. Evolution, you're able to evolve 2 of your bench Pokemon. That's pretty awesome. But Turbo Energize is also awesome because we can search our deck for up to 2 energy cards and attach them to our bench Pokemon how we like. So we could Crispin and Turbo Energize the next turn, or we could Turbo Energize, Crispin the next turn, switch or retreat, and then you see where we're going with this. We're just able to stall, wall, and then attack. I really like this a lot. Anyway, that's the deck list. Let's go ahead and get into it and see how we do. What? I don't know what you're talking about, says Spencer. Huh? Oh, just the 1 mulligan, so it's fine. Farigiraf and the Feebas. I feel like we always put Feebas up front just in case we were going against a hop. You prefer to go second with walls. I don't hate it. Yeah, for the TM Evo. Which, I need to remember, was I playing TM Evo? Hey, this is exactly why I said we want to put Feebas up front. I mean, I will say this. If you don't know it already, but Tinkaton is a wall breaker. Tinkaton is fantastic. It has Big Hammer. It is not a Pokemon with a... It is not a Pokemon with an ability. It is not a Pokemon that is Terra. It is not a Pokemon that is a basic. And it has the attack Pulverizer, or Pulverizing Press, something like that, for Psychic, Colorless, and it says ignore the effects on your opponent's Pokemon. So it gets through literally every type of wall that there is. Don't hate the water here. Don't hate Town Store, actually. We can Town Store here. We go get the Evo. We Arven for Rigid Band, and I think Ultra Ball, because Ultra Ball gets rid of 1 and 1. Yeah, and we get Ultra Ball. I love Tinkaton so much. I've got a video coming out next Friday on Tinkaton. We go ahead and TM Evo here. And we Evolution. Says prevent all damage to this Pokemon by attacks by your opponent's Pokemon EX. Okay. This is not playing against Spencer. I am not playing against Spencer, but I could see Spencer playing Duraludon Snorlax. I think we're okay. He might switch out, but if that's the case, I think we're okay. He did attach for turn, so I don't know that he can attach, or did he attach for it? Has he attached twice? This should be his second turn. It's probably another Zacian, yeah. Okay, gets Hop's Choice Band. Unless he has the switch of some kind, I don't think he can attack. Okay. We can go ahead and Ultra Ball here for this and this. No, Crispin's too important here. We drop that. We get the Milotic. We can drop that there. We can Rigid Band here. We can Crispin, getting ourselves this and this. We can go ahead and Hypno Splash. I think that's fine. Okay, hits the tails. Does not wake up. And I'm pretty sure you can't retreat out of sleep either, so this could be a 2-prize knockout. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like Paralyze. But Paralysis comes off at the next turn. at the start of your next turn. Well, through your turn into their turn. At the end of your turn, paralysis comes off. It's a better way. I had to think of the better way to say it. Okay, so they had switch in hand. I think that's okay. And we can go ahead and Hypno Splash. They do not recover. Okay. And it doesn't matter. And we get a Crispin here. I like this and this. Because we can do this into our hand. And we can put that there. Put that there. I wonder if I should play Hop Iono deck tomorrow. Or if I should play Flareon Glaceon. Options, my friend. You have options. I don't hate Hypno Splash, but I also kind of want to thin this out. It is just the one card I'm thinning, but at least I'm thinning something out. But we can go ahead and we can Hypno Splash. Okay, Pokégear does help out here. I believe we run 4 Crispin. I know we've already used 3. Yeah. So the likelihood of a Crispin off of this is low. But if we do get the Crispin, we can go get our rest of our energy and kind of put it where we need to. Or we could easily get a Research off of this or an Arven off of this. Okay, we're still alive. Okay, we got an Arven there. Arven, do we have what we want? We don't run any stretchers from the looks of it. Arven, actually, what we can do is we can retreat here. We'll get rid of these 2. That's fine. Throw that there. Arven to get us... We do have energy still, I believe. We do. Okay. We can get the Earthen Vessel off of this. Earthen Vessel gets rid of an Ultra Ball here. Get both of those. We can add that here. We can Pokégear, get an Arven. I don't mind that. And then we can go ahead and demolish here. Okay, wants to bring something up. I would guess brings up Milotic. Because all he has to do is attach. No. He actually has to do a lot more here to get it done. It helps that I got 3 Crispin in a row, I'm not going to lie. Okay, goes and gets that, but I have the Rigid Band, so I should be safe from damage, because it takes 30 less damage. Hammer in only does 30. I take no damage here, unless he's got Arcaladon, in which case, well, you know, sucks to be me, I guess. But that doesn't happen. Do I run a Turo in here? I do not. so we just let them take that. But we could also Arven here for the Poké Vital A. Attach, retreat into Farigiraf. Poké Vital A. We have no more energy in deck. We need to get our... okay. Yeah. Okay. Next turn, we will research. I probably should have thrown up Ogerpon. Now that I'm sitting here looking at it, should have done Ogerpon. Because we only run the one Super Rod. Yeah, we only run the one Super Rod. And we get the research. That's fine. Throw the research down. Okay. We don't need anything else. We've got Arven for next turn for Rod, so that's fine. Okay, you know what? We do retreat here. Unfortunately, we do retreat here because we gotta have for some protection, and we gotta potentially start throwing stuff away. But we can also throw that there. Another Milotic. Okay. I would guess brings up Snorlax since I can't OHKO it with Ogerpon. Would be my guess. I gave him too much time and he might be able to boss me into some stuff that I can't get out of. Hold on, that doesn't hurt us. Unless he's got a counter catcher, like, we've got the game. Because isn't affected by weakness or resistance, so this Cramorant doesn't care. Okay, Zacian down. Does not have to be active, so Zacian's attack doesn't hurt either one of these. Okay, we've got the Earthen Vessel. We know that we don't have any energy. We just swing. We just march forward with this. We just march forward with this. We should get game. Because he's either going to take Milotic or he's going to try to knock us, like, bring us down as far as cards go. But if he Ionos us, we always just go down to 1. So, like, he's just kind of hurting himself. Caladon. Okay. He's only going to put down 2. He's got to put it down on his Zacian, but I don't know that he can get... If he gets 1 more attached and gets the hop... Okay, he doesn't. I was going to say, and gets a choice band, but I think he was like, I don't know that I'll get that off of this. Trainer-wise, he's got 1. Okay. Night Stretcher does have energy. Probably should have gone for the less conservative play. Probably should have gone for the less conservative play. If he didn't go for the 1 here onto Arcaladon, he would have been fine. Because he's only hitting what, 3, 6, 9, 12. Can't put damage down on here. Milotic doesn't take it because it doesn't state this Pokemon has to be active. So it didn't take any damage off of that. And we'll go ahead and demolish. And there you go. Walls. The one game that I played and just kind of was like, sure. And it shows off. It showed up and said, I'm going to win this game. And as you saw, it does hurt the new meta. Hops is a very good deck going into the format. And, well, Milotic said, I can still find ways to wall you. I still have all the answers to you and whatever you're going to be doing. So as long as you aren't KOing me every turn, I have an answer for everything you're doing. So, there you go. What would I change in this? I would personally really kind of like to see maybe one less Feebas and Milotic, maybe one less Girafarig. That's 3 cards that we could potentially get more out of. I would like to see a boss in here, even if it's just the one boss. I would really like to see the boss. I would really like to see a PAL pad in this to get some Crispin, Arven, maybe even that boss back. I wouldn't mind seeing Counter Catcher. It's gonna go pretty hard in this. As long as we aren't walling, we can Counter Catcher and then start the wall process. It's all stuff that I think is decent in this and I think could be done pretty well. A Turo would really help as well, as long as we're not throwing away too much energy. A Turo, we can pick it up, put it down. So you see where I'm going with this. So that, I think, those couple of cards, maybe some consistency cards as far as the wall goes and as far as like a little bit more controlling goes. But I think this deck in its current iteration is very good. Would I take this to a cup or a challenge? Absolutely. I would like to see those changes made, maybe even the Girafarig into a Turo or into a boss. That might be all you need. But yes, I would like to see those changes made and then absolutely take this to a cup or a challenge. I would definitely take this to a regional. It is winning. It is doing well. It takes a lot of resources to get around this deck. And as long as you are a competent control player, this deck does what it needs to do. And I think you'll have a lot of fun with it, even if it is stall and it's not my playstyle. Anyway, if you would, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all the things that continue to help me do this. I am getting better every day. I am getting stronger every day in my abilities to deck build and to play, and I really enjoy this. So if you would, please consider all those options. And with that, have fun, stay safe, I love you,